Hi, my name is David P. Shapiro. I'm the owner and managing partner of the law office of David P. Shapiro, located in San Diego, California. Regain control of their future when charged with a crime. In this video, I want to talk to you about what's been going on as we're now in March of 2022 with regard to criminal cases in San Diego Superior Court and the use of Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams going back to the very early part of the coronavirus epidemic when the courts were closed. We were using Microsoft Teams pretty much for arraignments. Is used in a very limited scope since the courts are open. San Diego County lifted its mandatory mask mandate in indoor settings in the middle of February, and more people, more and more of the public are going back to court. Cases are starting to move, albeit at a snail's pace, through the system. They are starting to move forward as things are starting to open up time for good. But what's really, really important and what's really essential to understand is making sure we're using Microsoft Teams effectively, efficiently, and to the best interest of our clients, right? Because what you need to be wary of, if you're in a situation where you're hiring an attorney and that attorney is saying, yeah, you go to court, I'll be on Microsoft Teams, and then you're in court by yourself and your attorney's on Microsoft Teams fumbling around with Microsoft Teams and their sound and their audio and their neck and they don't have a good setup, that is such a poor reflection on your attorney, first and foremost, but unfortunately it trickles down to you. And that's what we see far too often still happening in court. I was in court earlier this week and the attorney's like, is my client there, Judge? I don't know. I don't know if he's on Microsoft Teams or if he's in person. That's embarrassing. That's absolutely embarrassing as a professional, and it's embarrassing as someone who's getting paid presumably decent money to represent someone in court. So those are things you really want to be wary of, right? It's things you might even want to be asking law firms as you're interviewing. Hey, do they go to court for me, or am I going to be there by myself? We may hear that question and say, well, of course we'll be with you, right? And there may be a time when it may be strategic to be on Microsoft Teams. There might not be. But the idea that in this day and age, attorneys could use Microsoft Teams to their advantage, but never at the disadvantage of their client. And that's really the most important thing. So, as we get into the spring, as we get into the summer of 2022, it's important to know. And if you find yourself facing criminal charges in San Diego and, you're looking for attorneys or your attorney's doing on Microsoft Teams and you're not there, or they're there and you're on Teams and it's just not a good look and things are not working smoothly, challenge him on it. Ask him or her about it. Hey, why are we doing it this way? Is that a bad look? That, and make sure you feel comfortable with how you're being represented. At least a couple of locally, in San Diego, experienced, quality San Diego-based criminal defense law firms. They'll be able to help you out, represent you the right way, because now is not the time to cut corners, right? Not when your freedom, not when your future, not when your reputation's at stake, and certainly not when you're investing a decent amount of money, that you may thought you might not have even been able to come up with a couple of weeks or a couple of months ago if you needed to, thankfully did. You want to make sure you're being represented the right way at each and every court appearance by the right team, by the right attorney, or by the right attorneys. So if you have questions about your case here in 535, this is David P. Shapiro, San Diego-based criminal defense firm where we help good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. 619-295-3555.